good evening and a very warm welcome. It's great to see all of you with us today. It's truly a privilege to be here and to help you understand to use ChatGPT in your daily lives, whether it's for work, personal growth, or just making life a little bit easier. I'm Lydia Vorster, and together with my husband, we've been estate agents in the northern suburbs of Cape Town since 2005. And like the saying goes, 2 is better than 1, but in our case, 3 is even better than 2. Together with our daughter, Shené, we form a dedicated family team ready to help you with your real estate needs. We introduce you to Shené.
Hello everyone, I'm Shené Vorster and I am the daughter of Lydia and Andre, blessed to be their daughter. I'm also a property practitioner with eXp Realty, and just to tell you a bit more is what really caught my eye about eXp was how it gives us the tools to go the extra miles for our clients. The tech, the systems, the global network, it all allows us to market properties smarter, faster, and to a much wider audience. That's exactly why we're so excited about tools like ChatGPT. It helps us work more efficiently and serve clients on another level. So I'm handing over to Andre now, my dad, and also the ChatGPT guru, although he will deny that.
Thank you, Shené and Lydia, you powerful duo. And yes, I will deny that. I'm keeping that slide up there quickly for a reason, just so that you know. We are real estate agents, and I'm also a real estate agent. I'm not Mr. AI, I'm not Mr. Tech. I just enjoy technology. I enjoy helping our other agents master technology to make their lives easier. And that's where this presentation really comes from. We usually do this for estate agents. So I will not bore you with what we usually present to our property practitioners to help them become more productive. We've tweaked a little bit for everyday life. Okay, to start off, firstly, we've got to realize always on these type of webinars, especially when it comes to ChatGPT, we've got mixed skill levels. So we've got beginners who've never used ChatGPT, and then obviously up to some people who are probably quite advanced on ChatGPT. So what we'll do is we'll start simple and then sort of build up the complexity. But my idea is to show you a lot of real world examples. And the main thing is to show you how easy it is to use ChatGPT, but then also how much advanced functionality there is, because it's just happening so fast and they're adding new functionality almost on a daily basis. Okay, so what you're going to walk away with is, I hope to, for those who've never used it, I hope to demystify ChatGPT so that you can use it on a daily basis in your daily lives, in your business lives, at home, and use it with confidence. I want you to realize that talking to ChatGPT is like chatting to a friend. It's a natural conversation, back and forth conversation, a to and fro conversation. And then we want to reveal its power as well. So from basic users, as I said, right through to brainstorming ideas and a lot of advanced uses as we go along this evening. Okay, so our agenda for this evening, we're going to just talk a little bit about what is ChatGPT and a bit of an intro to it. Then we'll look at a whole lot of ways that we can use it for our writing and communication to improve that and help us with that. Learning any topic, getting advice about anything, vision, working with images, analyzing images, creating images, a lot of advanced functionality there. And then, of course, once you get over to the voice functionality of ChatGPT, you're probably going to be quite amazed at what can be done there. And we'll do a little bit of creative and fun exercises as well. So remember, this is not a sort of a, there's no course for ChatGPT, there's no instruction manual for ChatGPT. We're just going to be looking at examples, and we're going to try and get through as many as possible so that you just get an idea of what you can do with ChatGPT, and then you can walk away this evening and go and use it at your leisure. Okay, so what you need to know is that if you can use WhatsApp, then you can use ChatGPT, because it is exactly like chatting to a friend. So you chat to your friend on WhatsApp, they reply, you chat back, and depending what the conversation is, you just adapt and carry on with the conversation. ChatGPT is exactly like that. It's like chatting to a friend, but the difference is you could make ChatGPT your personal assistant or your marketing expert or whoever you need at that specific time. So here's a bit of a definition that I like to use for ChatGPT. Imagine your funniest and smartest friend who's always available, knows almost everything on the internet, can explain things in a way that makes sense to you, and can magically turn your rough ideas into polished content. Congratulations, you have met ChatGPT. Still just on the introduction, what's the difference between ChatGPT and Google? So we all used to use Google to gather all the information we need, and we still do that for certain things. But there's a big difference between ChatGPT and Google. So Google is a search engine. ChatGPT is not just another search engine. When you search for something on Google, it's going to give you links to websites of other people that have created content like that. So it tries to give you links of relevant content depending on what you want. You would then have to go into any one of those links to see if there's information there that does help you for what you were looking for. ChatGPT, on the other hand, almost does that work for you, goes out there, finds information on anything that you need, and depending on what you asked for, and then gives you educated and combined answers that are much more relevant depending on what you ask for. So it'll also give you creative ideas. It can reason with you like a person. You're going to see that. It's quite amazing, and can brainstorm with you. Okay, it's important to know that ChatGPT has a free version and a paid version. It's got a couple of paid versions, but the free version, almost everything you see me do tonight, you can actually do on the free version. The only difference is that sometimes on the free version, especially if you're using some of the functions which sort of are very resource intensive and use a lot of ChatGPT's resources, especially when it comes to image creation and things like that. When you do a lot of that, at some point, ChatGPT might cap you, and then it tells you, okay, hang on, you're going to have to just slow down for a while, maybe 2 or 3 hours, then you can carry on again. Whereas in the paid version, you don't have those limits. Then there is also some functionality that's not available on the free version, which I'll touch on at the end, just so you're aware of it. But as you go along, you can use the free version, and if you see that ChatGPT is really becoming your daily companion and your business partner and everything, then you'll probably realize it's worth, if you get to that point, that it's worth going to the paid version. I'm on the paid version, and I use it all day, every day for everything. Okay. What you need to know as well is you must make sure you're on the correct ChatGPT, because there are a lot of rip-offs as well, obviously. So when you're on your PC or your laptop, you go to www.chatgpt.com. Quite simple. If you're there, you're in the right place. And to get it on your phone, because you do also want it on your phone, and you'll see later why, because there's cross-device continuity, etc. So when you're on your phone, you need to get the mobile app, whether it's on the Play Store or on the Google Store. And when you search for ChatGPT on those app stores, you're going to also get thousands of apps. Make sure you get the correct one. Now, how do you know which is the correct one? You've got to make sure, as I said there, that it's created by OpenAI. Every app will always say who created it. So if it's created by ABC Technologies or somebody, and if it's not OpenAI, it's not the correct one. So make sure you get the app that's created by OpenAI. Okay, so it's quite simple. On your laptop, you can go to chatgpt.com. And then if you haven't ever been there before, you would sign up and create an account using your email address and password. And then, of course, in future, you will just simply log in. And then you will do the same on the app on your phone. You use the same email address and the same password. Once you're logged in, this is pretty much what it looks like. We're going to see it live in action in a short moment. But basically, there where I've written in blue prompt, that's a little text box. So there you can type whatever you are wanting to ask ChatGPT. So you're actually prompting it for answers. And then on the left, you will see your chat history. So you would see anything that you've chatted about before. And as you start a new chat, the old chats will appear there. And you can even search your chats to find previous chats that you are looking for. Okay, so what is ChatGPT? As I've said, ChatGPT can see, can hear, can speak. You're going to see all that tonight. It understands your answers and questions. It can look at images that you upload like a person and answer questions about those images and help you on those images. We're going to look at quite a few examples of that. It'll help you with everyday tasks like writing reports and telling stories, etc. And the big thing is it really does chat with you like a human. It's quite amazing. You're going to see a lot of that this evening. Okay, I'm going to go over to a fun general sort of chat with ChatGPT, nothing specific, just to get the intro going, especially for people who've never been on it. And for that, I'm going to go live. Right, so here I am actually on ChatGPT. If I click there, you will see, sorry, down here is all my chats, as I was mentioning, the chat history. So if I scroll down here, I see everything that I use on a daily basis. It's all the time. And then you can search the chats. I'm going to close that so you don't get distracted. Okay, so let's just start. just a general chat, just so you can see that it's a back and forth conversation. Hi, ChatGPT, how has your day been so far? Okay, there we go. Hi, ChatGPT, how has your day been so far? And there comes ChatGPT. Hi, Andre. It knows me by now, of course. It'll, as you use ChatGPT, it'll get to know you as well. Andre, my day has been great so far. Thanks for asking. I've been helping people with everything from real estate questions to tech setups. Quite a mix. How about you? How's your day going? Okay, let's just say, great, thanks. Winding down now. Just a bit of a conversation. Great, thanks, ChatGPT. Winding down now. And ChatGPT said, that sounds perfect, Andre. You've earned it. After a busy day, it's always nice to slow things down a bit. Are you relaxing at home, or you're doing something to unwind, like a good movie or a drive? You suddenly see that this is like your friend speaking to you. Let me just say, let's test ChatGPT. Oh, are you almost ready for bed? Probably making spelling mistakes here, yes, but ChatGPT will excuse me. Are you almost ready for bed? I asked ChatGPT. Haha, not quite. I don't really sleep. I'm always around in case you need to chat or get something done. More relaxed, less business talks. Want to just chat a bit before we call it a day? So you're getting the idea. Okay, I'm going to just move on to something a little bit different. Maybe you need a bit of information from ChatGPT or something like that. So I'm going to copy this instead of typing it out. I did this beforehand just in case, so you don't have to watch me type all night. So now let's just say I say to ChatGPT anything, but here's an example. First, I say to ChatGPT, first, I need some advice for the weekend. My cousin is visiting from Joburg, and I need to show him a bit of Cape Town. Any ideas? So you're asking ChatGPT for ideas that you can do on the weekend with your cousin here in Cape Town. So I haven't been very specific, and let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. It's going to give me a whole lot of ideas. Firstly, maybe nature and views, such as Table Mountain and Lion's Head, and it elaborates on that. We can food, wine, and relaxed ambience in the winelands, and it'll give me some examples. Culture, walkable city experiences. So it's giving me a whole lot of options because I haven't been very specific. And then, so here's a recommendation. Morning, you can do Table Mountain, either a hike or a cable car, afternoon lunch, etc. Later afternoon, a leisurely walk on the beachfront, and so on and so forth. So let's say I'm happy, but I'm not really happy. So I say, oh no, that's not going to work, because let's just say my cousin is an adrenaline junkie. My cousin is an adrenaline junkie. Let's see what ChatGPT says now. So you see, it's like chatting to a friend, and as you adapt, it will adapt, and the conversation carries on. So ChatGPT says, great. Your cousin is an adrenaline junkie. Cape Town is packed with options. Here are 3 top picks. Okay, Cape Town adrenaline, where you can do shark cage diving, paragliding, quad biking, etc. Acro Branch, Constantia, where you're close to Constantia Neck. Then there's paragliding and hikes on the peninsula, etc. Give you a couple of suggestions. You're getting the idea. We don't want to harp on this all evening. This was just to get you to see how you can chat GPT. So even if you start out, just start chatting, and then ask ChatGPT anything at all that you want to ask it. Okay, so for now, let's make a new chat. I'm going to go back to our presentation. Right. Now let's look at how ChatGPT can help you with your writing and your communication and translation. So, I mean, with ChatGPT, you can review agreements, get it to simplify and summarize complex agreements for you, help you compose emails and replies to people, create spreadsheets and presentations, translate between multiple languages, etc. So what we're going to do is we'll have a look at just a couple of examples of this so you can get the idea. Right, firstly, use ChatGPT for effortless, well-worded emails for any situation. So, okay, I've got an example. So imagine I'm just going to tell ChatGPT in my own words what I want to say about something, and then it'll compile a nice, nicely worded email. So I'll say to ChatGPT, okay, this is an example. I want to write a polite email to my neighbor about a sensitive issue. Their teenage son has had a few noisy parties over the past few weekends while they were out of town. Several neighbors have mentioned the noise. I want to bring it to his attention but I don't want to sound impolite or cause any unnecessary trouble for the teenager. So I tell ChatGPT, this is what I want to say, and ChatGPT will help me compile that email in a nice, polite way. So here we go. ChatGPT helps me out. Sure. Hi, neighbor's name. I hope you've been doing well and that your time away has been enjoyable. I wanted to mention something small that's come up over the past few weekends while you've been out of town. It seems your teenage son has hosted a few lively get-togethers at the house. Nothing too serious, but the noise has carried quite late, and a few neighbors have also noticed and spoken about it. I thought it best to mention it directly to you so that you're aware, rather than letting it become a talking point. I completely understand that teenagers like to socialize and that these things happen. I really don't want to cause any trouble for him. I just wanted to raise it in the most neighborly way possible so it can hopefully be managed before it causes frustration for anyone. Thanks for understanding, and please don't worry, there's no bad feeling at all. I really appreciate having good, considerate neighbors and just wanted to keep communication open and friendly. So how long would I have taken to have thought out this to make sure it's nice and polite and not accusing or whatever? So ChatGPT can help you with anything. You need to write an email to your boss or whatever, you can rather just put it in there and get ideas from ChatGPT. If you're not quite happy with this, you can tell it how you would like to change it or change the tone, etc. And we're going to look at that. Okay, translate into a different language. So ChatGPT will translate for you into any language that you want. And it's really very accurate. I mean, I obviously often use it to translate into Afrikaans because that's my other language. And it's very accurate. If I just test it, take any English content and put it into Google's translate function, and then put it into ChatGPT's translate function and translate it into a language. Now with Afrikaans, I found that ChatGPT's translation is just so much better than Google's, because the reason is ChatGPT is learning from itself all the time, every single day, with millions of users. So let's just take that same example, that same email, and we say, please translate that into everyday Afrikaans. So I'll go through this quickly, just the first part, because I know not everybody's Afrikaans, but it's the one language I can demonstrate because I do understand the language. So there we go. Same email that we had just now. Hello, buurman se naam. Hoop dit gaan goed met julle en dat julle 'n lekker tyd gehad het weg van die huis af. Ek wou net gou iets noem wat die afgelope paar naweke opgekom het terwyl julle nie hier was nie. Dit klink of julle seën 'n paar lekker bymekaarkomste by die huis gehad het. Niks ernstigs nie, maar die musiek en kuier het party ander nogal laat aangegaan en 'n paar van die bure het dit ook opgelet. Ek het gedink dit is beter om dit direk aan julle te noem, and so it carries on. You get the idea. It's really actually a very accurate and everyday type of Afrikaans, and it's getting better and better. So put that to the test as well. Now, you can use ChatGPT to rewrite anything in a different tone or to adapt your wording to suit any audience. Here I'm thinking about you've got something and you say, make it more professional, or make it so that a 5-year-old boy could understand it, or whatever. So just put it to the test. We're going to take again that same English email to the neighbor about his son having parties on the weekends, and we're going to ask ChatGPT, just for fun, please can you rewrite that in a more humorous and funny way? And within seconds, ChatGPT does this, and it is quite funny actually. So just listen to this. Welcome back. Hope your time away was full of peace, quiet, and zero teenage noise, because, well, your house made up for it on this side or here. While you were away, your son seems to have transformed into a part-time DJ and social coordinator. A few weekend get-togethers, read mini music festivals, have kept the neighborhood somewhat, let's say, awake and aware of current pop trends. Nothing dramatic, but the midnight sing-alongs have become something of a local talking point, and not because anyone hit the high notes particularly well. I thought it would be better to mention it directly rather than let the grapevine do its thing. I totally get that teenagers need their fun. We've all been there. Well, before Bluetooth speakers and bass you can feel in your chest. No big deal at all. Just figured I'd give you the friendly heads up before it escalates to us starting a neighborhood karaoke competition. No bad vibes at all. Honestly, I admire his dedication to the nightlife scene. Just thought I'd drop a friendly note so you're aware before we all start showing up with glow sticks. Anyway, just a bit of fun there. But you can see, you can ask ChatGPT to rewrite something in any way you think possible. Right, let's move along. Let's take an example of how you can review and explain agreements or other documents. So you can upload any document, PDF, Word document, hundreds of pages, no matter what, into ChatGPT and ask it any questions about that or ask it to summarize it or whatever. Let's take a practical example. So firstly, you remember this is what ChatGPT looks like. This is usually where you would be typing what you want. And you'll see there is a little plus button. Now, if you click on that, it gives you the option to upload files to ChatGPT. So you just click on that and you can upload any file from your computer or from your phone into ChatGPT, PDF documents or whatever. So in this next example, what you see at the top there, lease agreement, private, PDF, that's a document that I actually uploaded, a PDF document, and it is a lease agreement. So let's just say it's a lease agreement for my 20-year-old son who's renting his first apartment. And I asked ChatGPT, please explain this lease in plain language for my 20-year-old son renting his first property. So obviously, it's a very legal lease, probably 15 pages long lease agreement full of stuff. And let's see, I'm asking ChatGPT to simplify it. So it'll do that in a page or two, and it brings the most important points to the forefront. And in this case, I'm asking it to do it so that a 20-year-old son would probably understand what it's all about. So there it takes the whole lease agreement and it starts summarizing it into the basic details, what the rent is, etc., what you pay for, and what else you must still pay for from your pocket, the rules about the deposit, etc., 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 what you're responsible for as far as repairs and maintenance goes. So it's reading this document for you and then summarizing it for you. And so it carries on. At the end, it even gives a nice quick summary so that you remember when you must pay your rent, what the deposit is, what other things you must do, what pets you're allowed or not allowed, etc. All read from that specific agreement. So think of this, and any complex laws or anything, something at work, you've got hundreds of pages. We use this functionality. I use, for instance, I get zoning documents from municipalities if we're selling a property in a certain municipality, and those zoning documents are hundreds of pages. And then I will, for instance, ask, I want all the information from there for single residential properties, and it goes to every section and just pulls the relevant information for me. So put it to the test, and then even if you've got a thing of hundreds of pages, I put it to the test where it gives me the answers and says this is what's applicable or what you were looking for, and then I say, great, well, can you tell me on which pages you found that? And then it'll tell me on which pages I found it, so I can at least go back to the document and just double check before I just rely on it, although it's always accurate, I've found. Okay, moving along. I know I'm going fast, but there's just so much we can show you. So another example, how to create and format content effortlessly. So just as an example, so you can ask ChatGPT to help you create anything, okay, just about any type of content, whatever you need. So here's an example. I asked ChatGPT, create one original motivational quote for each day of the week that I can share daily on my social media or WhatsApp status. Okay, so I want to share something that my friends can see. I want motivational quotes for the next week. You could ask it for the next month, for the next year. Okay, so let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. And there you go. Absolutely. Here's a fresh set of 7 original motivational quotes, etc., etc. So Monday's quote, you don't need a perfect plan, just the courage to begin. Tuesday's quote, small daily actions build the strength that big dreams need. Wednesday, progress is quiet, but it's proof that you're growing, and so on and so forth. You don't have to like them all, you don't have to use them all. But there's an example, and as I said, you could ask for days ahead. It even asks you at the end. It usually ends off with a question, which you can either say yes or just carry on with the conversation. At the end of this one, it asks, would you like me to create a new batch every week in the same style? So as I said, you can just carry on with this. I'm going to carry on in a different way, and I'm going to say, great, thank you very much for that, ChatGPT. Now, can you put those in a table format and add an image suggestion? So now I like that, so I want to put in a table, but I also want ChatGPT to suggest an image that I can use with each specific quote when posting it on social media or wherever. And there we go. Puts it beautifully in the table with a day in the one column, the quote in the other column, and now it's adding a suggestion. So for the first quote, which is you don't need a perfect plan, just the courage to begin, it suggests I use an image of sunrise over a quiet road or a mountain path, symbolizing new beginnings. So now I can go and find an image and I can put that quote on it, etc. But what you're actually going to see later on, this is a bit of a heads up, I'm going to show you just now, is you can even use ChatGPT to create all these images for you. But nevertheless, so now I've got it in table format as I asked. That's wonderful. I'm just taking it a step further, just so you can realize the power of ChatGPT. And I say, please, can you put that table in a Word document so that I can download it? And within seconds, ChatGPT says, yes, no problem. Your Word document is ready. You can download it below. I simply click over there and I download the document, and there's it all beautifully in a Word document, in a table. You're seeing the power. I don't have to do these things myself anymore. You can use ChatGPT for almost anything. I'm becoming a bit bored with that saying for almost anything, but it is true. Right, so there's a Word document, so ChatGPT will even create the document for you. Now, how's about using ChatGPT to build or fix or format spreadsheets? Just you can do anything. So you don't have to be all techie with the spreadsheets as well, formulas and so on and so forth. You can use ChatGPT, it will help you. This is a simple example. Let's just say this is a spreadsheet that I had. This is not a spreadsheet that I had, but it's an example. So it's obviously sort of some, let's say, a budget or something, or no, expenses maybe over the last month. So it's got groceries and fuel and everything, and then it's got them in different categories as well. So you'll see there's a groceries and there's a groceries, etc. And the total was 21,620. Now maybe I want to do something with that. So depending what you want to do, you just ask ChatGPT. You don't have to go and look up formulas anymore or anything like that. You don't have to go and Google things. So in this case, I said to ChatGPT, just as an example, as you'll see up top there, there's the Excel file, which I have now with the plus button, I've uploaded into ChatGPT. So it's got the file, and now I say, please expand on this Excel file by creating a monthly expenses summary and a bar chart of the category totals all within the same file. Then let me download and modify the file. So basically, that's just exactly as I said just now. We had the expenses and we had categories on the right. Now I wanted to sort of summarize it and put each category together and then create a bar chart. So within seconds, ChatGPT says, no problem. This is what I have done exactly as you asked, and then I can click there to download the new spreadsheet, which it has now modified for me and added something for me. So there you will see it has now, at the bottom on the left, you'll see the tabs. The detailed expenses was my original sheet, and it created a new sheet within that Excel file, exactly as I asked. And it's now totaled each category. You'll see the grand total still the same. And it's created a bar chart for me. And it can do basically anything. Anything that Excel can do, you can just ask ChatGPT to do it for you. So the power of this, it's making your life so much easier. It makes you so much more productive. Okay, let's look at another example. The examples are coming fast and furiously now. Okay, how you can use ChatGPT to convert handwritten notes into clear digital text without typing. So if you had somewhere you were making notes and you've got it in your notepad or something, but you actually want to put it into a Word document or something, into your calendar, I don't know what, you don't have to go necessarily go and type everything into the Word document. You can use ChatGPT to recognize a photo. So what you do, wherever you had the notes, you just take a photo. So this is a photo of a notepad. This is just a mock-up I did. So let's say I was, maybe I have a grade 6 child and I was at the parents' evening at the beginning of the year. So I was making notes. Right. The new principal is Mrs. Jacobs, and she starts on the 1st of February. School starts at 7:45 sharp. The grade 6 school camp is on the 12th to the 14th of March. So I'm busy making notes and saying when the hockey season starts and the rugby season and when the school concert is, and so on and so forth. I'm busy making notes furiously at this. And then when I get back home, maybe I think, I'd like to put this in a Word document. Maybe I want to copy and paste it from there and put it into my calendar. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't really matter. This is just an example. So I take a photo of my notepad with a little plus button. I upload it to ChatGPT. Now ChatGPT has the image, and I just say, please transcribe this into text. You don't have to use the fancy word transcribe even. Just say, just turn this into text that I can copy and paste. And within seconds, it goes, and there we go. Everything that I had on there is now in text. I can copy and paste this from ChatGPT and put it into a Word document. Or, of course, as you've already seen, I could say, just put it into a Word document for me so that I can download it. And it's very, very accurate. It didn't make any mistakes. In fact, there were no mistakes in this example. Everything I had there was perfectly transcribed, even though my handwriting is not of the best. So, again, you're just starting to see this. Just look at the possibilities. You could possibly be at a 3-day conference enriching yourself, a Tony Robbins seminar or something for 3 days, and you are taking notes, one notepad after the other. Eventually, maybe you actually want that somewhere where you can search it, or you want it in a Word document. Same thing. Simply take photos, put it into ChatGPT, and ask it to convert it to text. This type of functionality previously, if you wanted to do this not long ago, you would need very expensive software like the full suite of Adobe software in order with optical character recognition is what they call it. You would need to be able to do this. Now you're just doing it within ChatGPT, even the free version. Okay, quite amazing. Moving on to some more examples, learning and advice. So you can use ChatGPT when you want to learn anything or if you need advice on anything. Learn about complex topics, clarify medical results. We're going to look at some examples and then compare appliances or gadgets or whatever before you buy. Again, these are just examples. So use your imagination. But let's look at a few. So let's use ChatGPT to understand complex topics in simple, clear language. No matter what you want to know anything about, you can go research it on ChatGPT, and if you want it in simpler language, you just ask it so that it's understandable. Let's look at an example. So yeah, I have said, let's just say you've got a grade 6 pupil. He's very busy learning about photosynthesis. Maybe he needs to do a task, whatever. I say, please explain photosynthesis to a grade 6 pupil in relatable language. I don't know how many of you remember photosynthesis. Anyway, I'm asking you to explain it in relatable language, and ChatGPT will immediately do that, and it really does adapt it for a grade 6 pupil. The language is understandable, and there it goes. Complete. We're not going to go into detail there. It says exactly. Well, let's look at the start here. So here's how I explain photosynthesis to a grade 6 learner in simple, relatable language. Just look at the opening paragraph. What is photosynthesis? Imagine the plant as a little green factory that makes its own food. But instead of using electricity like our kitchens do, it uses sunlight. And the ingredients for photosynthesis are to make the food the plants need: sunlight, water, etc., etc. So that it can do, but it can do this for you with any topic or for your children or whatever you need done. Let's look at some more examples. Simple solutions for daily household challenges. Whatever you're doing at home, ChatGPT will help you with it. Look at this example. I asked ChatGPT, can you create a 5-day dinner plan for a busy family of 4 using ingredients that cost under 700 Rand in total? It's actually quite complex. I want 5 days of dinners, nicely planned out. It must be enough for 4 people, and it mustn't cost more than 700 Rand. Okay, let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. It'll go and research everything. So it's going to put dinners together, but it'll make sure that the ingredients it's using will not total more than 700 Rand, and it will be enough for 4 people. And it's going and doing this live with live prices and making sure that everything is accurate. So here you go. So it comes up with a whole thing. This is exactly what you're going to need for the 5 days. Chicken and beef and eggs and everything, all the ingredients, even gives you the estimated cost. And then it carries on with the actual dinner plan. Day 1 is creamy chicken and veggie and rice. Day 2, spaghetti bolognese, and even gives you the recipe and how to make it. Obviously, you can go into more detail if you want more explanations. So that's great. But now let's just say, oh dear, you didn't give it enough information, and this is not going to work for your family. Why? Because, as I said to ChatGPT, oh dear, I forgot to tell you, my family does not like tuna or baked beans. So you see, this is a back and forth. This is like working with a personal assistant, like working with your friend. You can go back and forth, and it's just and there it comes up with, no worries, Andre, that's an easy fix. We'll keep the total under 700 Rand, make it tasty for the whole family, and we will remove the tuna and baked beans completely. It'll now get other ingredients to substitute those and make a different recipe and a different meal plan. Okay, that was just a nice quick example. Let's look at another example. You can use ChatGPT to break down complex medical information into easy to read explanations. Please note, this is not a doctor replacement, but it does sometimes help you because doctors might be a little bit kort af, as they say in Afrikaans, and afterwards you would just like a bit more information, and then once you've got that information, you can also discuss it with a doctor to make sure whether you understand it correctly. So here is an example. Let's say I've got blood tests results. My doctor obviously phones me up and says, listen, I'm happy with everything is this and this or whatever, or something is not so nice, whatever he says. And I think, oh, and he sends me the blood test, but I want a bit more detail. I want to just realize why he's saying that. So I upload the PDF document, which is the blood test results, into ChatGPT, and I say, please explain the meanings of these blood test results. And it'll go and it'll read that document, And for every single thing, which actually looks like Greek to you when you're in the thing, it explains it nicely and tells you exactly what the normal levels are, and what your results were. And then it says, so your kidney functions are healthy, and with the next one, your liver functions are fine, etc., etc. So it goes and analyzes things for you so that it's more understandable for you. And this is just, of course, an example. Again, ChatGPT is not a doctor replacement. You must always verify anything with your doctor. But a very, very handy tool to simplify matters for you and make it more understandable. Here's another example. Let's say you want to compare things. So instead of, I want to compare the Samsung Galaxy S25 and the iPhone 15, I may be thinking of buying one of those two, but I'm very specifically interested in how they compare for camera quality, battery life, and price. Those are the things that are important to me. So I simply ask ChatGPT to do that. It will go out on the internet. It will scour all the information from various sources, bring it back to what I'm looking for. And there we go. So it'll give you that. It says, here's the comparative look. So firstly, it starts with camera quality, which is the first thing I asked for. It'll give me the Galaxy's pros and cons. Then it'll give me the iPhone's pros and cons so that I can decide which one is better for me. And it'll do the same then for battery life and price or whatever I asked for. Okay, really making your life simpler in so many ways. Use it to take your business to the next level. Your business, even if you work for someone, you can just use ChatGPT to get ideas, to advance your business in so many ways. You just got to start playing around with it. So let's look at an example. Let's say, okay, I'm a wedding photographer. I'm just starting out. Please help me create a marketing plan that will give me visibility online and generate clients. So I'm stupid, at least I can take photos. I'm not stupid. I'm a very good photographer, but I'm just starting out. But my business sense is almost nowhere. I'm asking ChatGPT to help me out. So please give me a marketing plan that will give me visibility online and generate clients. And there comes ChatGPT, my good old friend, but this time it's more of a marketing expert, and says, that's an exciting step. Congratulations on starting your wedding photography business. Let's put together a practical, results-driven marketing plan that helps you build visibility online and start booking real clients. And then it goes into defining your brand identity, what you need to do, building a strong online presence, which includes a website, and Instagram, and Facebook page, and Facebook groups, etc. So it's giving you a whole lot of ideas, like a Google business profile, content strategy of content that you can put out there to remain visible, and so it carries on. Gives you a whole business plan. You can now go and start implementing that, or you can take any of those steps and say, okay, please help me dive deeper into this, give me more ideas on that. The ChatGPT can really, and it's doing this by scouring the internet for reputable information. It's really getting so good at it. That's quite amazing. So you can use it for anything, okay? You have to do something at work, get it to help you out, and your boss will be amazed. Okay. Now we're getting to the nice fancy stuff, which I really enjoy. So vision, image analysis, and generation. So you can use ChatGPT, and again, these are just examples. You can use it to identify trees or plants or any objects, to diagnose broken appliances. So you've got a broken appliance, it'll tell you how to fix it. Read and translate signs or menus. Take a screenshot, screenshot of your PC when you're having trouble with a program. Just upload it, and it'll help you. Design layouts and room layouts. We're going to look at a lot of examples of this. So let's go. Firstly, let's look at an example of where ChatGPT will instantly recognize plants or trees or objects. This is an example I really enjoyed. I actually used this in our real estate presentation as well. It's one of the few that we're using today that come from there. So Lydia and I, we were asked to do a valuation of a farm very close to Durbanville, actually. So we don't know the owner. He just phoned us up. We also don't know the farm. But on our way there, we're going to go meet the owner, and entering the farm, these roads, while we're driving up to the shed where we're supposed to meet the owner, there were rows and rows of orchards next to the road, which looked like that. That's a photo of them. So as we're driving, Lydia is next to me, obviously on her phone, a very busy estate agent, busy on her phone. And I look left and right, and I say, I wonder what trees these are. So Lydia glances up from her phone, looks left, looks right, and says to me, they are guava trees. Of course, I'm looking ahead, so I roll my eyes. I mean, how would she know they're guava trees? But anyway, so as we get out, as we get out, the farmer's not quite arrived now. I think, okay, I'm going to find out. But I don't want Lydia to see me, so I take a quick sneaky photo on my right as I get out the car of these trees. And I also haven't got time to type long messages, so all I typed in was, what is this, into my ChatGPT now. Took a photo into ChatGPT and said, what is this? And ChatGPT immediately gave me the answer. The trees in the image appear to be guava trees, and it gives me the scientific name. And then it even tells me why it says so and how you can identify them, etc. So later on, of course, I told Lydia and I said, but you didn't know the scientific name, or you didn't tell me the scientific name. And of course, Lydia's answer was, it's because you didn't ask. Anyway, a little bit of tongue in cheek. As the farmer arrived, of course, I walked up to him and I said, lovely guava orchards you've got here. Took a little bit of the shine on myself, but I mean, I did make sure about the facts, at least. Anyway, that was a nice example, real life example. Let's look at an example of identifying likely problems and possible solutions. Think of anything possible, but here's an example. A simple one is actually an example within Lydia's ChatGPT, which I just stole from her. She's got a plant and had this little spot on it, and she was getting very, very worried about her plant. So she took a photo, put it in ChatGPT, and said, what is wrong with this plant? And ChatGPT very nicely said, that looks like your orchard, immediately identified it as an orchard, has a leaf spot, which is likely caused by either a fungal or bacterial infection, and it carries on to tell her, why it is and what you can do to help it, etc., etc. So you're getting the idea. Use it for anything and you'll be amazed at the results. How's about practical guidance for almost anything you can think of? Just another example. So this was a real example. A remote that was not working on the gate anymore for some reason. So we wanted to set this so that it will work again on the gate. So we simply took a photo of it, put it into ChatGPT and said, how do I set this remote with a gate motor? That's all we did. I don't know what type of gate motor it is or anything like that. Of course, this little remote has a little icon on it, and from that, ChatGPT makes all the necessary deductions and says, that remote is a Centurion Nova 4-button remote, which was all true. It's used for the Centurion gate motors like the D5, the D10, etc. And it'll carry on to give you all the options you need to go and reset it. So you go down to the gate motor, this is what you do, open it and do whatever you've got to do, and you have reset it yourself. Fantastic. Okay, how's about bringing your ideas to life with ChatGPT created images? Let's look at some examples of that. This is now creating images with ChatGPT. So you can create almost anything. Remember I said earlier on when we were doing those social media quotes and ChatGPT gave us image suggestions, and I said, you can just take that suggestion and say, ChatGPT, please create the image for me. And it'll create every single one of those images that you need for your social media to use with those quotes or whatever. Here I'm just giving an example. So I'm putting quite a bit of detail in, but you can put a lot more detail in if you want. So just look nicely at everything I've said here. Please create a realistic photo image of a luxurious glass-fronted house with a lush garden and a modern pool with a Cape winelands in the background at sunrise. And this is what ChatGPT creates. And you go and look at what I asked for: luxurious glass-fronted house, a lush garden, a modern pool with the Cape winelands in the background. There you see the vineyards. It's even put in the Boland Mountains just for extra touch, and it's got the sunrise. Quite amazing. Here's another example. This is one I actually use with my agents just for a bit of fun, because we say we are the future of real estate at EXP, and we say, who knows what we're going to be selling in future. So just for tongue in cheek, I said, create an image of a spaceship that has landed on the ocean with Cape Town in the background on a bright, partly cloudy day with a futuristic real estate agent standing on top of it. I just want to say, if you ask this twice in a row, or you ask it today and tomorrow, or somebody else asks the exact same thing, it's not going to get the same image. It's always going to be unique. They'll differ slightly. Anyway, let's look at what ChatGPT created for that. There we go. The spaceship landed on the ocean with Cape Town in the background. I mean, there's Table Mountain, there's the Cape Town Stadium. On a bright, partly cloudy day, you'll see it's not just bright, it's not cloudy, it's partly cloudy, and it's got a futuristic real estate agent standing on top of it. So there's a little futuristic man. To make sure you know it's a real estate agent, it has a digital for sale sign. Okay, you're starting to see again, you can use it to create anything. And we're going to look at some more practical examples just now as well. This was again just a bit of fun. So I was doing a presentation, myself and Lydia, in Durban, or Slanga Rocks actually, for EXP agents. And just because Andrew was there, Andrew is our friend, but he's also the CEO and country leader for EXP. So just to get a bit of a giggle out of the crowd and out of Andrew on the day, I said, turn Andrew into a superhero flying over Umhlanga rocks with EXP Realty logo on his chest. So obviously for that, I gave ChatGPT a photo of Andrew and the EXP Realty logo to use on his chest. And I wondered what it was going to come up with. And there we go. There was Andrew flying over Umhlanga rocks. That's the Umhlanga lighthouse. We were right there in the hotel doing the presentation, looking at this lighthouse. And it was quite apt because Andrew also, apart from the fact that we were doing the presentation there, Andrew also lives in Umhlanga. Anyway, just a bit of fun, but again, just look at what you could do. Imagine creating photos for your family or whatever of any sort. Just use your imagination. A lot of fun. Okay, now how's about transforming or adjusting existing images? So you've got images and you want to change them or adjust them. Let's look at an example. Okay, here's a nice green pool. And let's just say you want to sell this house and the pool is green, but you want to start marketing it and you're going to put Shocket in, and you know the pool is going to be blue in a few days, but you want to start marketing it. So you take the photographer's photos and you upload this one into ChatGPT and you say, please change the pool's water to sparkling blue. And there you go. Beautifully done. Again, for this, you would have needed very expensive software not a while back. Now ChatGPT is doing it for you. So ChatGPT is really your everyday assistant that's just getting better and better at all sorts of things. And you're still going to be amazed at what's coming up. Okay, another example. How's about reimagining your space? Just think of your own house. You maybe want to redesign your kitchen, or you've got a back garden and you want to do something there and you need ideas. ChatGPT will do that for you. Let's look at some examples. Here's an example of a backyard with okay, there's already a hole for a pool, but even if there wasn't a hole for a pool, you could just ask ChatGPT in any case that you want to put a pool there and you need ideas. So in this case, I said, please create a modern design for a pool for the hole that has been dug as in the photo. And then I say, do not change anything on the existing buildings. Otherwise, ChatGPT might decide it would like to change something else as well. I don't want the buildings changed. I want ideas for that pool space. And ChatGPT will give you endless ideas depending how many you ask for. So here's just one or two examples. There's the photo as I uploaded it. And here are two results it gave me. There's one, there's the other one. Beautiful. You could choose one of those, or you could ask for different types. You can carry on from here. You can even ask it now, right now in that photo, what are the materials used and what would the estimated cost be? Then it'll give you all that. Okay, just another example, backyard. Not very nice looking. There's a backyard. So I say to ChatGPT, please fully modernize this outdoor entertainment area. I want you to create two images, a dusk or nighttime image, and then also show what it would look like on a bright sunny day. So I'm asking it to revamp it and then just show me what that revamp would look like at night and in the day. And of course, I could ask for more than one example. In this case, I'm not. So here we go. There's the original image. There's its suggestion of what it could do, what you could do with it, and what it would look like in daytime. And here is its suggestion of the same thing and what it could look like at night. Beautiful. Of course, you don't have to settle for that. You could change it or say, but I still want to keep the face bricks or whatever. If you're just starting to see how you can use it to redesign your space, just take photos of your lounge, of your kitchen, and start getting ideas. Depending on what you ask for it, ChatGPT will help you in an instant. This was just a little fun one. We actually had a WhatsApp group for a couple of agents that were doing a specific thing. And one of the agents uploaded this image as the group icon on WhatsApp. I thought it was a bit bland. So I went and asked ChatGPT to please modify this image to show the 4 robots all celebrating their huge success. And then that was much happier, and I enjoyed that. So you've got the same robots, different look, different expressions. Just a bit of fun there as well. Okay, let's look at another example, a bit more practical, but more family orientated. Use ChatGPT to design custom invites for your parties or your events or your celebrations. Let's look at a very practical example. Let's say you ask ChatGPT, I want to design a kid's party invitation for my son Peter, who turns 5 soon. So before I ask for the design, I'm going to say, please suggest some good themes that I can use for the invitation. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. So for a 5-year-old, ChatGPT says, great, here are some themes that you can choose from. Maybe a race car or Hot Wheels theme, or a superhero party, or a dinosaur adventure, or an outer space / astronaut theme, or a Lego party builder. Now the juices are starting to flow here in my head. And I think, okay, my 6-year-old would love, number one, the race car Hot Wheels. So I say to ChatGPT, and you'll see at the end, sorry, it even asks you then, for instance, would you like me to generate the invitation design? And would you like it in a cartoon style or a realistic photo style? Of course, if you can think of another style, you can ask it. I said to ChatGPT, please use the race car theme in the realistic photo style. And then on this invitation, please mention that Peter turns 5 and that the party is at 3 p.m. on the 20th of November at 120 Smith Street in Durbanville. And this is the design it comes up with. Start your engines. Peter is turning 5. Get ready for a high-speed birthday dash. 20 November, 3 p.m., 120 Smith Street. Beautiful. Your children are going to love you for this. So start using this for any invitations. Okay, and of course you can adjust it if you don't like it, and so on and so forth. Now we're getting to the fun bits. This is much more advanced and recent things of ChatGPT. Some of these functionalities where you can speak to ChatGPT. So you can speak to ChatGPT in various ways. In fact, so you can speak instead of typing. So just like I showed you just now, and I'll do a practical example. Usually you'll be typing into ChatGPT what you want, but you can rather speak it. I'll show you it now, and then you could ask ChatGPT to just convert that into text as though you had typed it, and then you go carry on from there exactly like you did before. Otherwise, you just use a different button on ChatGPT, which I'll show you, and then you can have actual conversations where ChatGPT speaks back to you in a human voice. And these conversations can be however long you want. So you could get into the car. I'm going to do an example. Get into the car and start a conversation about something. It will just carry on, the hands-free, and it will not stop until you stop. So you can chop and change between topics, etc. Okay, let's look at some examples of this. I just need to get this over here. So on the right here, this is just a sort of a mock-up of what ChatGPT looks like on your phone. I'm going to show it live now within the website as well. But what I want you to see is the buttons on the right here, and they are the same on your PC or on your laptop on the website. So there is the message part where you would usually be typing. And then on the right there, you'll see I've put a blue arrow indicating the one little microphone. That is the microphone you would use if you wanted to convert your speech into text. So as though you were typing, but maybe you want to talk longer, or you can't type because you're somewhere else and you just want to say something quickly, then you simply speak and say what you want to say, and when you finished, you hit enter, and ChatGPT will convert that into text. So it's as though you typed it, and then you carry on from there, just like before, as I said. Then where the green arrow is showing the little, looks like a sort of a sound wave, that's the one you will use to have an actual conversation where ChatGPT talks back to you. So this is not typing, this is talking. Okay, and we're going to look at some examples of that. So firstly, I think we're going to go back. Let me just get this over here. 1 moment. Okay. I'm going to go over here just to show the actual. This is easier. You would often use this on your phone. So the example I'm going to use is almost like you were somewhere and you quickly remember something. I'm just going to demonstrate it on the PC so that you can see it on screen, because you won't be able to see so nicely on my phone. Okay. So let's just say, so here you'll see the 2 buttons. That little one over there is the one we're going to use right now, which is going to convert my speech into text. So let's just say, so when I hit that, ChatGPT will start recording, and when I hit the enter button, it'll then convert it into text for me. So let's just use an example and say maybe you are, whatever, you're busy shopping. Now I'm talking as though you're going to do it on your phone, although we're going to do it here. You're busy shopping, you're walking out of Pick n Pay, and you suddenly remember that you need to reply to a client's email. You're not going to do it now, but just so you don't forget, you quickly want to get ChatGPT to help you with it so that when you get back home, you can use that and reply to the person's email. So let's just say, right, you run out of Pick n Pay and you think, oh dear, grab your phone, hit this little button over here and say, oh, I've got to allow the microphone. Hey, ChatGPT, I need to apologize on an email to a client who complained that their delivery was late. Please say that the delay was all my fault. Also apologize profusely and offer a 200 Rand gift voucher for the inconvenience. Now I'm hitting the little correction enter button over there. Now you will see it converted to text. I just have to make sure it's all correct. Hey, ChatGPT, I need to apologize on an email. Like there's a mistake. And offer 200 grand. That wouldn't be good. 200,000. I was saying 200 rand as a gift voucher for the inconvenience. So now you see, this is as though I was typing it, but I'm not in a position to type it. So even when you're on your PC, you can also use this right here, as I was now, because you want to talk a long conversation with ChatGPT and give it a lot of descriptions, and you're not going to type it all out, especially me with my 2-finger typing. Okay, so I've asked ChatGPT, so we're actually doing a double thing here. Firstly, I'm just showing you this speech-to-text functionality. And secondly, let's see what email ChatGPT comes up with to apologize to this client for the late delivery. So now I'm hitting it. As I said, this is though I typed it. Now ChatGPT is going to answer me, and it's going to compile an email. Here's a warm and sincere draft that you can send. Dear client, I want to personally apologize for the delay on your delivery. It was entirely my fault, and I'm truly sorry for the inconvenience this caused. We pride ourselves on reliable service, and in this instance, we fell short of that promise. As a small gesture of goodwill and appreciation for your patience, I'd like to offer you a 200 Rand gift voucher to use on your next order. Thank you for bringing this to my attention and for giving us the opportunity to make it right. I truly appreciate your understanding, and I'll make sure this doesn't happen. You see how this can just help you in your everyday life, in your business life. You just give ChatGPT the rough idea of what you want to say, and ChatGPT will transform it. You can obviously tweak it from there, make it more personal. But as you go along, ChatGPT is going to also learn your style, and it will start sounding more and more like you. Okay, so that was a nice example of that. Now let's go on to a actual voice conversation. I'm first going to go, let me just go to a new chat there. I'm first going to just go back to the presentation from current slide. There we go. So as we were there, this is just a recording. This is in case sometimes when I'm doing these demos on my phone, maybe there's connectivity issues with ChatGPT or something. So this is a recorded one, but we will do 1 or 2 live examples as well. So again, this is now the conversation part. So when I'm hitting the other button, I speak to ChatGPT, ChatGPT speaks back. Okay, I hope you hear this. Just give me a thumbs up if you do. I'm going to hit the play button. So this was previously recorded.
Oh, come on, ChatGPT, be honest now. Is it really possible that Lydia is always right and I'm always wrong?
Oh, you know, I'm no relationship expert, but I'd say Lydia's right 99.9% of the time. And that 0.1%, well, that's just when she's agreeing with you.
Yeah, sure, thanks for nothing.
Happy to help. If you ever need a pick-me-up or a bit of fun, I'm just a chat away.
Very, very funny. I always say, and I believe this firmly, I think when I'm asleep at night, Lydia takes my phone and works on my ChatGPT, and they are in cahoots and they're busy talking behind my back. Definitely. Okay. Lydia giving you a thumbs down there on the screen. Okay. Now I want to show you, let's just do 1 or 2 practical examples here, just fun examples, just to show you how it actually works on the phone. And you will hear it, hopefully, and I'll put the volume up, etc. So let's just firstly get out of here. I am out, yes. Okay, so maybe I should just stop the screen share so you can actually see what I'm doing. No, it's all right. I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to be using my phone. Okay, and we'll use 1 or 2 practical examples. Here we go. So I'm opening ChatGPT. Making sure that the volume is up so you can hear. And remember, now I'm going to be using that little sound wave that you see on the right there on the PC, but I'm now on my phone. And let's just start a general conversation. Let's say I'm going away for the weekend. Okay, let's start with something like this. Hey, ChatGPT, we are going to Plettenberg Bay for the weekend. Can you tell me what the weather is looking like for this weekend, and maybe make a few suggestions of what we could do there?
So it looks like the weather in Plettenberg Bay this weekend is going to be pretty mild and partly cloudy. Nothing too extreme, just around the low 20s Celsius during the day and a bit cooler at night. As for things to do, you might want to consider a nice hike in the Robberg Nature Reserve, maybe some beach time if the sun peeks out, or even a bit of whale or dolphin watching if that's your thing. It should be a lovely weekend.
So there you see it, and you can carry on with that conversation. Let's say now we're on our way to Plettenberg Bay, so I'm going to do something else. I just need to start a new chat again. Hey, ChatGPT, we are on our way to Plettenberg Bay. Can you help us with a quick guessing game that me and my kids can play while we drive? Maybe we must guess what animal you are thinking of, and then you give us clues until we guess it right.
Absolutely. That sounds like a lot of fun for the drive. All right, let's play. I'm thinking of an animal, and I'll start with the first clue. This animal's known for being very slow, and it spends a lot of its time in trees. Let's see if you or the kids can guess it.
A chameleon.
Oh, that's a really good guess. Chameleons do love hanging out in trees, but this one is even slower, and it's famous for that. Another clue, it's got long claws, and it moves so slowly that algae can actually grow on its fur. Give it another shot.
Some sort of a slow monkey.
Ooh, close one, but not exactly a monkey. This animal is actually known for being a lot slower than any monkey, and it has a kind of permanently relaxed face. So you're definitely in the right habitat, trees, but think of the absolute slowest.
No, you've got me. I can't guess. Help me out.
All right, no problem. I'll reveal it. It's a sloth. These guys are basically the champions of taking it easy up in the treetop.
Okay, a little bit of fun there. But you get the idea. This is so you could climb into the car. You can just start a conversation. It's hand-free, and you just carry on and on and on. Maybe you get into the car and you just start with what you're going to eat tonight and the homework that you're going to do for your child. Move on from that. Then you think of this email you're going to send for somebody, and you do that, because what you're going to see now is whatever you did there is now afterwards, it is available in text for you to copy and paste. And it will also be available on your PC because you are logged into your app on your phone and your PC with the same username and password. Okay, so you're getting the idea. But before we show you how it syncs to the PC, I'm going to just go to the new chat again. Now I want to show you the most amazing part of this technology. So while you're speaking, this is on the paid plan only, unfortunately. While you're speaking to ChatGPT, you can activate your camera and show it what you're looking at. And so it's like being with a friend, and you're showing it stuff, and you can have conversations about it or ask questions about it. Maybe you're sitting at a restaurant and it's a foreign restaurant, and you're wondering, you quickly activate your friend here and show her the bed menu and say, gee, I don't know what's going on this menu, and you need some help, whatever. I'm going to show you this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the voice conversation, and then I'm going to start my camera and have a conversation with ChatGPT. Not going to be a very interesting one over here, but I mean, nevertheless. Okay, I'm starting the conversation. Hello, ChatGPT. I'm going to share my camera with you now.
Sure thing. Go ahead and share your camera whenever you're ready, and I'll let you know what I see on my end.
Okay, I have shared my camera. Just tell me what you are seeing.
All right, I can see your setup. So it looks like you've got a nice workspace going on there with a laptop in the middle and 2 external monitors on either side. I can see you have a PowerPoint presentation open on your laptop screen, and then I think your other screens have maybe a browser and your email. So everything's coming through pretty clearly.
Ah, wonderful. I've got a quick question for you now that I've got my laptop open here. I've always wondered, at the top there are a whole lot of keys. They're called F1, F2, F3, right up to F12. What are those keys usually for?
Absolutely. Those F keys are kind of like little shortcut keys that each have their own special function. So for example, F1 is usually a help key in a lot of programs. F5 might refresh a page in your browser, and some of them can even control things like your screen brightness or your volume, depending on your laptop. So they're basically handy shortcuts to make things a little easier.
Thank you, ChatGPT. Listen, I've been thinking about upgrading my laptop, and if I show you this sticker here, you should be able to see what laptop it is. So maybe you can tell me, what options I would have to upgrade RAM or whatever on this specific laptop.
Absolutely. I can see that sticker pretty well. It looks like you've got a Dell G315 there, and that model is actually pretty friendly when it comes to upgrades. So typically you can upgrade the RAM pretty easily by just popping off the back panel and
Okay, I'm stopping over there. You're getting the idea. You can use this in everyday life, outside, no matter where you are, whatever you're doing, you need help with something, you can get live help. The other thing you can do here, which I'm not going to demonstrate, is you can also hit the plus button while you're talking, and you can share your screen. So if you're busy in something, I don't know, let's just say you're busy in Instagram and you've now forgotten where to find some other setting. You simply share your screen while you're in Instagram and ask ChatGPT what you want to ask it, and it will then live. It will tell you, okay, go there, press those 3 dots, go to the menu, go to these settings, change it over there, etc. Or whatever you can think of. So you can also share your screen, not only your camera. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I need to just get back here because I want to show you how this syncs to your PC. Right, so we were on the phone now, right? Now when I'm back on my PC, which you can see there now, I'm just going to hit the refresh button of my browser. And now everything that happened on my phone while I was away is going to be on my laptop. Similarly, everything I do on my laptop, on the browser part of ChatGPT will always be available on my phone. So now if I go to my chats, I'm just going to expand there and come down. Now here you will see, I mean, here, let's just start. Okay, there was the apology email draft. That was, okay, that was the one we did on the PC. The next one was the weather and activity tips. You see on the left, my chat history. Now here you'll see this chat, it's in inverted commas and it's sort of in an italic font as well. That indicates to you so that you remember later on that was actually a voice conversation, but it's been transcribed for you into text, so you can also copy and paste anything from here that you want to. So this is the one where I said we're going to Plex. Can you tell me about the weather and make a few suggestions of what we could do there? And there it was, told me what the weather was, low 20 degrees Celsius, etc. And things I could do was take a hike in Robberg Nature Reserve and so on. And then the next one was the animal guessing game, if you remember that. So you'll see the whole thing over here, and it was asking me, and I was very stupid. I thought it was a chameleon, and then I thought it was a slow monkey. That was actually correct, eh? Give me kudos for that. I just didn't know the name. It was a sloth. Anyway, and then here's the camera sharing. So when I shared my camera, this is that conversation where I said, hello, I'm going to share my camera with you. And ChatGPT said, go ahead. And I did. And I said, what are you seeing? It told me it's seeing all my monitors that I've got open over here while I'm doing this presentation. Then I asked it about the F keys, and you've got everything over here for later on if you want to copy and paste or whatever. Okay, so quite amazing. I didn't tell it what computer I had in here. You will see, yes, it looks like you've got a Dell G315 there, which is exactly what it is, and tells me what I need to know. So, okay, quite amazing, right? I'm going back to our slideshow. We are nearly done. It is already 10 past 8, not too bad. All right, I'm keeping you longer than necessary, but I hope you're enjoying this. So then, of course, you can use ChatGPT for any sort of creative and fun things. I'm not going to go into too much depth, but the last one there I quite enjoyed. You can turn your vows or your stories or anything into music and into songs, right? So whatever, maybe your wedding vows, go turn it into a song. Maybe you want to make a song about Durbanville, about your kids, about anything. So what you'll do is you'll go to ChatGPT, get ChatGPT to create the words or the lyrics, and then I'm going to show you how you can actually get that converted into a song that is sung for you. Okay, so first things first, turn any idea into a song. I asked ChatGPT, just an example. Please write an upbeat children's song for my 6-year-old daughter, Sarah, that promotes positive values and builds a strong sense of self-belief. Something that a typical 6-year-old would enjoy and sing along to. So if you've got a 6-year-old child, this would be great. It's a song you can sing together, and it always builds a strong sense of self-belief. Anyway, so ChatGPT came up with these lyrics. Wake up, Sarah, rise and shine. The day is yours. It's sparkle time. Shoes on feet and smile so wide. The world feels happy by your side. When things get tough, just take a stand. You've got courage close at hand. And so it carries on. Lovely lyrics. So I'm quite happy with them. If I'm happy with them, otherwise I can get them changed. Now, here's a little bonus tip for you. You can take those lyrics, copy them, paste them into a website called suno.com, suno.com. So this allows you to insert your lyrics and it will create a song for you. It's free. There is also a paid version. The paid version just offers more functionality and more voices, etc. So I took this and I put it into suno.com, those specific words that I got from ChatGPT. So to do this now, I'm going to unshare my screen and share the actual video that I created from the words, from the song that I got from Suno. So here we go. I hope you enjoy. Let me just get this going. Song, there we go. You must just give me a thumbs up if you do at least hear the sound. I'm almost going to start playing it now.
Wake up, Sarah, rise and shine. The day is yours, it's sparkle time. Shoes on feet and smile so wide. The world feels happy by your side. When things get tough, just take a stand. You've got courage close at hand. Try again, don't ever fear. Every win begins right here. Be kind and gentle every day. Help your friends along the way. Share your heart and you will see how awesome you were born to be. Do anything, dance and laugh and let your spirit sing. You're smart and strong, you shine so bright. Believe in yourself, you'll be alright. You'll be alright.
I hope you enjoyed that. Let me get the presentation going again, and we are really just about done now. And I got one or two little advanced things I want to quickly share with you. Let's just share back to our presentation quickly. There we go. No, there. Okay, so cross device continuity we have covered, where you will always see everything you did on your phone on your PC and vice versa. Let me just hide that. There we go. Right. Then ChatGPT also has a lot of advanced functionality which you can play around with later. Most of this mostly is on the paid version, but it just gives you an idea of how powerful AI is becoming, and all within one app, which is ChatGPT. So you can create custom GPTs. I can show you examples which I've created. So this is like a mini ChatGPT, but you instructed exactly how to respond and what information to use when answering. So I, for instance, will create a custom GPT. I have already created one. I can actually, maybe I should just go there. Okay, custom GPTs over here. Explore. So I've got my GPTs. You'll see I have a whole lot of custom GPTs. So these are things that I go in. If I go and edit them, I tell ChatGPT what I wanted to do when people are in this GPT. So I could send you a link to any of my GPTs, and when you're in that GPT, on the link I sent you, you can still ask ChatGPT questions, but it's going to answer the way I told it to. So I can, for instance, upload a whole lot of information. Let's take an example, the SA Property Guide GPT by Lydia and Andre. This I send to clients so that if they've got any property questions and it's the middle of the night and they don't want to phone us, they can go into my link over there and they can ask us property-related questions. I don't want ChatGPT to just grab information from anywhere. I want it to be like I'm answering, because I want it to be proper, educated answers. So in that GPT, for instance, I've uploaded all the property laws of South Africa and the PPRA Act, etc. With all that, so that's all the information property-wise and legal-wise for South Africa. Then I've taken, for instance, I make a lot of educational videos for our clients, like explaining different things like foot stewards and all the OTP clauses and mandates and all these things. So I took all my video scripts and put them in a Word document and also uploaded it. Then I tell ChatGPT how it should reply. And I can also choose, do I want ChatGPT to be able to access the general internet? So in this case, I say no, because I don't want it to go and get funny information, maybe even from America or something like that. It must only use my information, and I instructed that if it doesn't know the answer, it will just tell you to contact me. So now you go and ask that. Let's go to that one, for instance, just a quick explanation. So if I sent you the link, you would be over here. You would see this exactly when you open it. Firstly, there's a couple of examples you could use. So you could just click on one of them and it'll get the answer. Or otherwise, you just ask anything. So let's just say you click on this one. Please explain the transfer process in South Africa. It's going to answer you, but it's answering you now from the sources I gave it. So it's from all the laws, etc., and the legal stuff, and from my video scripts, which have been well researched. So it tells you the whole process. Firstly, you'll have a sale agreement, then this and that, then FICA compliance, and so on and so forth. Okay, gives you the whole thing. At the end of the day, it'll always, because I've asked it to respond like this, it'll always say, if you need any more information, contact on the Lydia, which is nice. But you can ask it anything. So let's just say, explain footsteps, anything you can think of property-wise, and it'll answer it for you. Okay, so that's just one way. You can use this yourself. You can create GPTs, even just for maybe work you do on a regular basis. Maybe you create videos and things like that, and you create video scripts. And instead of always going to ChatGPT and asking the same questions, like I want a video script, and then I want a description for YouTube, and then I need the correct tags. I know it's getting very technical. You can set up a GPT that makes it simpler and just repeats every time for your new work. Okay, I know that's very technical in a way, but just showing you. So some of you might find that valuable. Another one that's on my slide here, agent mode. So when let's just go to a new chat, and you're in ChatGPT. If you hit the plus button, there's a thing called agent mode. This is next level technology. So here you could actually set up agents. So you can make an agent within ChatGPT that does certain things for you. So you can make it go and do research for you on the internet, gather all sorts of information on a Monday. You tell it every Monday you go and gather this information from these websites. Then go and compile the documents and go and save it in my Google Drive. You give it access to that. I'm going to show you that, etc. Then you must please compile an email, and you're going to send it to Pete and John and Sarah, who are my superiors at work. But first, just save the draft in my Outlook. All these type of things. It's absolutely next level that's coming up. Okay, if you've got the paid version. And you can, for instance, add sources. So you can connect your ChatGPT. If I click say add sources, you'll see you can add. If you want to, you can connect your ChatGPT to your apps. So you could connect it to your Outlook or your Gmail or your Google Drive, etc., so that it goes and gathers information. You can get it every Monday to go and take your updated Excel file off your Google Drive and go and analyze it as we've shown before, and then create reports and go and then it can email them. So you can set up things like this, which it's like having 10 assistants. You could put up an assistant for every single thing that does work for you. This is the future. Okay, next thing, if you look over here on the left, you can have projects where they are now. Let's close the GPTs. Projects, this is simply, instead of having all your chats down there, if you're busy on a certain project, you can open a project so that you can save the chats that are relevant to that project in the project. So just for instance, this one, when I was doing just research to be able to get examples to show you for this webinar, I made a client's webinar project. So when I click on that, all the chats that I saved there now are easily accessible for that project. So it just helps you organize your work a bit better. And then you've got deep research over here. If you click on the plus button and deep research, now if you hit on deep research and you then ask ChatGPT something, it goes in deep. It doesn't give you answers in seconds. It takes quite a few minutes, but it really goes back and forth on the internet, and it reasons with things and goes to various places. It's quite amazing. It actually shows you the process as it's going along. I'm now doing this, I'm now going there, now I'm coming back over here. Quite amazing. You can play around with that if you've got the paid version. And then, as I said, connectors, which is just adding sources. I mean, so you can add any of your apps. As an example, if you've already added one of your apps, you simply start with the @ sign. So I'm going to say add Canva. You'll see there I've got add Canva. If I now click that, and you'll see Canva appears there. If I now ask something, I ask it to create something for me, it's going to create it in Canva for me, in my Canva. So it's going to create templates, and I can choose them. And when I open them, I can edit them in my Canva, etc. Here's another example. I have added our Google, our bookings.com. So if you go add bookings, I could go to bookings.com. Now there you go. I can now simply say to ChatGPT, I mean, I can even say it via voice. Listen, I'm going to Plettenberg Bay this weekend. I'm looking for accommodation with a sea view, but not too expensive, maybe maximum 1,500 Rand per night. I definitely want a fireplace, and it must be places that have a booking.com review of more than 9. And then it takes all that information without you having to go into Booking and go and filter it. And it'll compile. It goes into your booking.com, goes and sources things that match all those criteria and gives you the options to look at. Saves you so much time. Anyway, those are just one or two examples. I'm going to go back here now. Those are things you can play around with later on if you do actually have the paid version. And that is it. That is my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, and I hope this is the whole idea here was really just to show you what's available so that you can go and now apply it for yourself, because you can apply it in hundreds of ways. Okay, if we have any questions, you are welcome to raise your hand.